Hello everybody, Crystal Kitsune here. And it's time again for another one of those fun little games where we get to choose either or, basically. The last couple of games I played was higher or lower, which is we're trying to figure out which one is higher than the other. I did 2 videos of that. This one is called Would You Rather, or better, or it's technically either.io, so it's an IO game, but we're gonna do it with the Raspberry, and I actually got an official shot glass, so we can actually do shots instead of putting it in a bigger glass and take like little tiny, like looks like little swigs. So we're gonna do that. So the premise of the game is you have 2 choices, basically. So in this instance, this one's already made out for us because, you know, you get into the game, there's already the previous question, which is would you rather only write in cursive or only type in caps? And the majority went with cursive. So, of course, my job is to pick out which one is going to be the majority vote. So who, like, voted the most on whichever question. Like, a lot of people have done this. I know I'm not anything new, but I thought it would be fun to, you know, see how poorly I do, because this is even kind of worse than, it's more quick than higher or lower, because higher or lower has kind of like a rationality to it. This doesn't really have rationality. So I brought 2 of these fuckers with me in case I blow through the first one because of the question. So, without further ado, I suppose. Okay, so would you rather sleep in a room a little too warm or sleep in a room a little too cold? Now, I've done both of these. When we first moved into this house, we didn't really have, it didn't have like insulation in the walls, so the winters were cold and the summers were super freaking hot. So I've done both of these. So with a little too warm, I rather my opinion is to choose I'd rather sleep in a room that's too cold, because you can always pile on the blankets and be like in a cave of blankets and be nice and toasty. But it's like when it's hot, which is like any summer around here, it's like, you know, even cracking a window doesn't help. Having fans blow on you helps a little bit. You basically need to have like an AC to like pretty much get the airflow and whatnot to keep you cool. So I would rather choose a room that's a little too cold and pile on the blankets than choose a room that's too warm and then like have to like kick all the covers off and just be laying there like spread eagle, you know, trying to keep cool. So that's my theory. See, I'm trying to rationalize this, but I don't think this is one that you can really rationalize too much on because, you know, people. So let's see what they say. They agree. They'd rather be in a room that's too cold and just pile on the blankets. Okay, so good so far. Would you either eat a container of butter? The whole like question just kind of like put me off. Eat a container of butter or drink a bottle of maple syrup. Now, both of them would be disgusting after a while. Like the initial thought of like eating butter or drinking maple syrup, both would like make you sick. So just thinking about the outcome like afterwards is what I'm thinking about now. Sadly, like for some reason I found out that I'm like lactose intolerant. I never used to be, but for some reason now I'm lactose intolerant. So I can actually eat butter without like taking one of these pills here, which are dairy digestive supplement, which helps me digest dairy, because a couple weeks ago I had a burrito that had like cheese and sour cream in it, and I felt super sick afterwards. I had like, you know, had to go to the bathroom, my stomach hurt, and then the next night I had waffles with butter and syrup, felt sick afterwards. I also had a glass of milk. So I think, you know, from my deduction, didn't have like actually like tested or anything from a doctor, but from my like like, after I figured out maybe I was lactose intolerant, I, like, got rid of all, like, I didn't get rid of, but I stopped consuming dairy, at least until I went shopping. And it was, like, about 3 days, and I felt, like, a lot better. I didn't eat any butter, no milk, or anything like that. So all the food that I had, like TV dinner-wise, was, like, basically had some sort of dairy product in it. So I couldn't eat, I had, like, tuna fish sandwiches for dinner, or I had, what was, I had, bacon and eggs. Like, there was like a half of thing of bacon, and I made some bacon and some eggs. So anyway, I got off topic. I wouldn't be able to eat the butter, and I really don't want to drink maple syrup, because even though it's good in small quantities, that would make you sick. But if I had to choose, I'm trying to think of the majority here, not just for myself, and I think they would probably choose the butter, question mark. If not, I have to take a shot. So I'm going to do the butter. And people would rather drink maple syrup. So, first shot of the night. I still have the stuff in the refrigerator. There's still like 2 more of these, aside from these 2. So, I don't know what I'm going to do whenever I run out of these things. But, now I got an official shot glass, so now I can like fill it up to a certain point and take shots of it. So, there's a nice little shot size. It's a half shot. That's all I'm going to do is half shots, because this is a quicker paced game. Of course, I'm taking forever on the first 2 questions, but we're going ahead and take the first shot. So, cheers. Good stuff. Okay. Next question. Would you rather be a pirate or be a ninja? Now, this is like the age-old question, I guess you could call it. Would you rather be a pirate, or would you be a ninja? Because there's always, like, that whole, like, there's good points to each side. I mean, you could be a ninja, you could be stealthy, you could have ninja, throwing stars, katana, be an assassin for hire kind of thing. Or you could be a pirate, and you can sail the seas, and have a pet parrot, and, like, if you're seasick, being a pirate wouldn't be good. If you're, like, afraid of the dark, being a ninja wouldn't be good. So, I mean, both of them has their, like, good points and bad points. I mean, almost everything does. But I would rather be a pirate than be a ninja, because I've been a pirate for Halloween many a times, and I created a character for roleplay, which is a pirate. So I would rather be a pirate than a ninja. But watch, everybody's going to want to be a ninja, because that's how this works. So I'm going to be a pirate. And like I said, everybody wants to be a motherfucking ninja. So another shot for me. Only 22% wants to be a pirate. I guess they like the whole, like, stealthy, assassin type thing going on with the pirates thing, or with the ninja thing. So here's a little bit more. I filled it up a little bit more full. So I'm going to go ahead and drink it down. I know this is kind of a pussy drink, because it's a margarita, essentially. It's fruit flavored. So it's, like, sweet, and it's not, like, hard liquor. I cannot do hard liquor. I tried doing Seagram's Rio, which is my grandfather's booze. I couldn't stomach it. I took 2 shots of that, and I was, like, sick. This stuff is at least tolerable, because it's sweet. So once you get past the, like, bad taste, you got the sweetness to help cover it up. So, sorry if I'm drinking pussy drinks, but I'm a pussy, so whatever. Okay, so next question. Would you rather drive a Porsche or Ferrari? Now, Porsche, like, when I was younger, I was all like, yeah, when I'm young, older, I'm gonna be rich, and I'm gonna have a Ferrari, and I'm gonna have a Porsche, and da-da-da-da. I mean, I knew all the big, like, powerful cars. There was a Ferrari, there was a Porsche, there was a, Lamborghini, I don't mention Lamborghini. I guess Lamborghini is kind of like the 90s or something. But Ferrari is Italian. I'm not sure quite what Porsche is. I think it might be American. But cars that are made in other countries brought over to America are way more expensive to take care of because you have to import parts. So if you had a Ferrari in the United States, you would have to import whatever you need unless you had like a Ferrari like base shop somewhere here in the US. And even then you would have to find where it's at and like get parts flown from there, which would be a little bit cheaper. But specialty stores and specialty cars from different countries is a way more expensive notion than having an American made car like, you know, like a Mustang or you know, just any kind of convertible type car. So I'm gonna go with a Porsche because I just like the name Porsche better than Ferrari. And a fucking you goddamn people need to stop doing that. This is the third like in a row that people have picked the opposite. Next time I'm gonna pick fucking red, and watch. It's going to be like, regardless of the question, I'm gonna pick red, and watch. Now it's gonna be blue because just to fuck with me. So here's the shot. Okay. Next question. Okay. Okay. Would you rather be chased by 100 rabid squirrels through a flat, open plain? Now, if you have a rodent fear, this is gonna be like a nightmare. Or go 2,000 feet, or go down a 2,000-foot slide, completely made out of ice, head first with your shirt off. Now, I said I'm gonna choose red regardless, but like 100 rabid squirrels through a flat, open plain. There is no cover. There is no way that you're going to get away from these squirrels without them surrounding, surrounding you, engulfing you, and killing you. Now the 200 foot slide, bear, like going face first or head first with your. I'm a woman, so I got these babies. If I went down a fucking ice slide with these puppies on a 200-foot slide, my tits would be like snapping off by the time I got done, or they'd be stuck to the ice and they just rip off. But it's just kind of like funny. I'm gonna choose red anyway just to see what the result is. But the squirrels thing, there's no way of surviving that. You may survive the slide. I mean, if these rabid squirrels are out for flesh, you're done. This is like in the zombie apocalypse animal version, and you're like trying to outrun squirrels. Unless you're the king of the squirrels like Markiplier, you ain't getting out of that. So I'm gonna go with the 200-foot slide with ice or whatever. And I was right. A very small margin. It was close. It was fucking close. It was like 1% off. So yeah, I did it right. It seems like red is like the one that people choose a lot. I wonder if that's kind of like, would you rather choose red or choose blue? I would choose red because it's a pretty color. Okay, so would you rather know a few things about everything, or know everything but only about a few things? Now, you would be a very boring person if you knew everything about a few things, because like the best thing about parties and stuff is that, you know, you do small talk, and if you go through and like start, you know, striking up conversation, you can last a whole lot longer with a few things. Like just kind of like pick a few things that are compatible and just give off some information, not boring information, but interesting information about a few things. But if you went to a party, you know, multiple parties, and you only knew a few things, but you knew everything about that thing, people are gonna get fucking bored because they'll be like, oh great, here's so and so gonna tell us about the same few things that he knows. I think I would rather know a few things about everything than know everything about a few things, because like I said, after a while you're not gonna get any new information, so you're just gonna be the same boring person. I mean, you would have a plethora, that's the $5 word for today, a plethora of knowledge. Even though it's a little bit of knowledge, you would still have enough knowledge to entertain people in a party, or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to choose the blue, even though people will probably want the red. Oh, actually people agreed with me, so that's great. No more shot. No more shot. No shot for this one. Okay, next one. Would you rather be a Jedi or a Sith? Now, just recently, within like this last year, since this year's almost over, earlier this year, I actually watched through all of the except for the new one that came out, the new one, The Awakening or whatever. I haven't seen that one yet, but I've seen all of the other ones. Started with the older ones, got into the new ones, even though they're the prequels. So I know about the Star Wars universe. I don't know, I'm 31 and I haven't ever watched Star Wars, so shoot me. I have, like, a couple times had people say, oh, you should really, really watch the Star Wars things. And there've been a couple times when I started to, like almost watch the Star Wars trilogies and, sequels and prequels or whatever. And I was like, I'm not really in the mood. So finally I sat down one weekend, actually a couple days, couple weekends, and watched all 6 movies. So I was like, okay, now I know what it's about. I know what the characters are. I know the settings. I know the, storyline and everything. So with that said, now that I know the Star Wars thing, I mean, people automatically assume that, know the Star Wars, franchise. So when people would be all like, say something about one of the movies or something, and I'm like, okay. And they're all like, so what's your opinion? I'm like, I don't have one. I was like, I've never seen the movies. They're all like, what? You never seen the movies? They're giving me, like, this look of, like, shock and awe because I've never seen Star Wars. Okay, back on track. I have never decided or thought about what I wanted to be. Would I want to be a Jedi or would I want to be a Sith? Now, the best answer would be go Jedi because that's the best. Or that's the good guys. If you want to be bad, like, Darth Vader or Sith, the Sith, Darth Maul. I had to think about that for a minute. Darth Vader or Darth Maul. You want to be on the Sith side. But I'm going to say be a Jedi because why the fuck not? Everybody wants to be a Jedi. Why not? See, everyone wants to be a Jedi. So no shot right now. Okay, would you rather live in Boston or New York City? They're both close to one another. Boston, Massachusetts or New York City. Now, New York City is, like, expensive as hell. I'm not sure about Boston. Probably close to the same thing because it's all on the East Coast over there. So I'm going to say Boston just because there's a lot of people in New York and it's busy as fuck. I've never been there. I probably never want to go there. Maybe for a visit or something, but never to live there. So I think I'd rather live in Boston because I think it's more prettier in Boston, than New York City. But everybody probably want to go to New York City. Yeah, everyone wants to go to New York City because of reasons. I don't know why people would want to live in New York City, but they do apparently. So 73% say live in New York City, bitches. So here we go. Ugh. After a while, that stuff starts to be horrid. Okay. A couple last questions here, and then we'll stop. Would you rather only use Windows or you only use Macintosh? Now, I'm a Windows person. The only time I ever used Macintosh was because of school. The only computers they had there were Macs. So I'm going to be a Windows person through and through. Yeah. Okay, last question. This is going to be the last question, then we'll end it on this one. Okay, this is probably the worst question ever. Would you rather kill 5 innocent children yourself? It would end all bloodshed in the Middle East for 25 years. Or have ongoing wars, terrorism, and fighting in the Middle East. This is the worst question in on. It's like kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Especially the kids thing. Because, like, you're killing kids in order to end violence. And it's only for 25 years. It's not forever. So, like, you kill, like, 5 kids. And then it's like, in 25 years, it's going to start up again. So, like, have an ongoing... I don't know. I'm just going to say the red one. Because there's no way that I'm going to kill a kid. Especially not 5 of them. Innocent. In order to end a... put a stop to a problem temporarily. Now, if it said forever in bloodshed and stuff in the Middle East forever, I might consider it. Because 5 lives out of billions, but it's only 25 years, so it's not permanent. So I'm going to say have an ongoing war, terrorism, and fighting in the Middle East, because there's always a chance that it's going to stop, or we'll find a way to stop it without killing people intentionally killing innocent people. So I'm gonna just go ahead and with the red and see what happens. Okay, so people would rather kill the 5 innocent children. So this is gonna be the last shot of the night. Only used 1 can. I was feeling that I was gonna have to use more. There's still a little bit left in the can, but I'm just gonna drink this and say, cheers. And that's the end of the night. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of Would You Rather. If you want to play Would You Rather yourself, just type in either EITHER.io and it'll bring up this. There's a whole lot more to it, but I just cropped out most of it because you don't need to see all that other shit. So that's gonna be either either.io or Would You Rather, as it's more aptly named because it says Would You Rather on there. And that's gonna be the end of the video. There's gonna be a new format in the back of the outro. Instead of having the links to my Twitter and my Spreadshirt, there's going to be on one side there's going to be a video that YouTube chose for you. In the middle somewhere there's going to be my face. That's where you go to subscribe. On the other side there's going to be a link to my merch store, and somewhere in there's going to be in the bottom always there's a link to my Twitter and everything, so make sure you give it a like and share with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also be sure to check out my website, because there's a website. It's also on the splash page. It's linked in the bottom, so check that out. And that's going to be it for now. So thanks for watching, and have a good day, everybody. Bye.